the Mark 1 EMR. How good is this thing, and should you run it? So I do think it falls off late game, and we'll get into that later on in the video. But for now, let's go into the upgrades. All right, so for upgrades, you have two either ors. You have a recoil decrease or a bullet range increase, and then you can get a reduced damage drop off or armor penetration at 25%. Now, of the two of them, the bullet range is better than the recoil decrease, and the armor piercing is better than the reduced damage fall off. It shoots 308 rounds, so shooting farther away, if you're not one-tapping things, is not really going to be of use to you, or like it's not going to help you. The armor piercing power just gives you more damage output against literally everything in the game except for unarmored enemies, which I don't even think there are very many, maybe like bandits and stuff. You shouldn't really be using this on bandits. You can, it's just going to cost a lot in terms of ammo. But armor piercing and range increase definitely needed. Spread decrease, you can get it if you want to, it's not needed. And then for other upgrades, you can get the recoil decrease and the laser. You can go for flatness or the automatic firing. Now, the interesting thing with this, the automatic firing, there is an extended mag that has, I think, like 20 rounds loaded. So it's decent. I don't really know how good this would be shooting 308. So 308 ammo is expensive, and it's not super common. You could argue it's even rare. So going fully automatic with this weapon seems like a bad idea. You can do it if you want to, but I don't recommend it. The flatness is nice, gets you more range. I think this is a precision headshot weapon that falls off in late game because you can't one-tap exos later on, even with armor piercing. Moving while aiming versus aiming accuracy doesn't really matter. Recoil decrease, you can get it if you want it. And then recoil recovery versus aiming speed doesn't really matter. So the most essential upgrade is definitely the range increase upgrade and the armor piercing power, and then another range increase upgrade. You can go with automatic, but I like the range. So the range increase upgrades push it into 3 range, and then the penetration pushes it into 2.5. Now, I think this weapon needs to have base 3 penetration. I think its penetration value is too low, considering it shoots 308 rounds. And it should also have higher damage. So I think it has some issues with it. It also only has like 1500 weapon health, so it's more affected by getting damaged by anomalies and like melee attacks and other weapons, like the endgame weapons. And it also only can shoot 450 shots before breaking and has a base damage of 55. So it has low base damage, low penetration, and low range, and you have to get the upgrade for the penetration and the range to keep it relevant. But we'll go over the breakpoints now just to kind of demo like what's going on with it and where it kind of is in the game. Let's do our Mark 1 breakpoint test against endgame exosuits. So to begin, we'll be on armor piercing rounds. Now, unfortunately, the Mark 1 stops one-shot headshotting the highest level of exosuits that you will be fighting in the point of no return, and it is very sad, and I will just show it here. It does not one-shot them. So, all right, and then let's do base ammo. So 2-shot headshots. Oh. Let's actually hit him now. There we go. 2-shot headshots base ammo, 2-shot headshots with armor piercing. It will armor pierce 1-shot headshots a lot of enemies in even the earlier exosuits, but the later exosuits, it 2-taps them, which sucks because 308 ammo, not the easiest ammo to get, certainly not the cheapest ammo to get, so if I'm headshotting something, I expect it to kill. It should honestly kill with base ammo fully upgraded. I think this thing needs buffed, but unfortunately, it's just not performing where we would like it. But yeah, like overall, it's a decent weapon until it falls off in endgame, which is really bad. It's unfortunate. You can still use it. Now let's go over the recoil. So if you keep shooting, it goes up a lot and slightly to the left, so down and to the right to get it on center. Now you should really be picking your shots with this because it shoots very expensive ammo that's not super common. So you should really be going for 2 taps. It's not bad though, but like in terms of efficiency, I did put it in S tier under the assumption that it one taps exos because I was testing on exo suits that were not the highest armor ones, unfortunately, and the difference between them is not clear because they look exactly the same as the other ones. So unfortunately, it does not one tap exos in the end game where you want it to, especially in the point of no return where you're in like, you know, 3 to 4 boss fights and tons of groups of max armor exo suits in between those boss fights, so it won't perform. And for those reasons, I kind of don't recommend running it until it gets buffed, or if you run a mod that buffs its damage or something. But that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm trying to shoot this can, dude. Thank you.